Morning everyone, welcome to Vision IAS. I am Shivajit. We will be having a 365 revision on economy. So today, a very good warm to all. We will be starting with the topic 7. So the topic labor and employment. The first topic is periodic labor force survey. According to periodic labor force survey, unemployment rate was 3.1% for calendar year 2023. In contrast to global unemployment rate 5.1%. So at the global level, the unemployment level was 5.1%, whereas in India it was on and around 3.1%. So unemployment rate is falling, as you can see in the graph. So in the rural areas, see the table, in the rural areas, earlier in the 22-23 session, the rural area was 60.8, okay, and now which the trend is 63.7, R1 50.4, which got 52.0, male 78.5, 78.8, female 37.0 and 41.7. So periodic labor force survey, this is the all around periodic labor force survey. So maximum change can be seen in rural areas, whereas 60.8 to 63.7, and most probably the case has been registered on female cases. See 37.0 to 41.7. The periodic labor force survey was launched in 2017 to estimate key employment and unemployment indicators. It basically measures on and around workers population ratio, labor force participation rate, unemployment rate and activity status. I hope all of you know usual status, which compares working activity on and around 365 days, and current weekly status, which looks for 7 days. So, along with this, World Bank report in the South Asia Development Update Jobs for Resilience and report highlighted below average employment ratio for women in India. International Labour Organization report, the India Employment Report 2024. So please remember, India Employment Report 24 was released by International Labour Organizations (ILO) and not any other Indian organizations. So what is gig economy? Recently, Karnataka government published a draft Karnataka platform-based gig workers. So I hope everyone knows gig workers. Gig worker is nothing just like a platform which provides employment opportunities to others. So a gig worker is a person who performs work or participates in a work arrangement and earns some activities outside the traditional employer-employee relation. So see, gig. What is gig? Gig is a platform. Gig is a platform which provides an ample opportunities of making oneself employed, but it does not ensure that it is an employer. It is not a gig is not an employer, and you are not an employee of gig. Okay, you are just, for example, you had a car and you are the driver of your cars. Okay, so Ola is a platform. You can say Ola is a gig because it provides you an opportunity to work or to employ yourself. So you get a trip under Ola for an around 465 or say and around 1000 rupees. So you are masters of yours. You are masters of yours. You work, you drive, and you get your wages. But just you give a certain commissions to the Ola. So now you understood your how a gig is performed. Okay, gig workers are broadly classified into two categories. One is platform based, and another is non-platform based. So platform basis whose work is based online on software apps or digital platform like delivery workers of Zomato. Casual workers like in conventional sector like working part-time or full-time. So initiatives for gig workers. So to give protections to the gig worker, what are the initiatives that has been taken? One is Code on Wages 2019. It provides an universal minimum wage and floor wage across organized and unorganized sector including gig workers. Code on Social Security. There is also proposed to establish a Social Security Fund and a National Security Board to supervise and formulate the schemes for the well-being of gig and platform workers. Another is eShram portal launched by Ministry of Labor and Employment. It aims to facilitate access of various social security schemes being implemented by different ministries and departments to organized sector. PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, it is an insurance scheme. Now next, what is living wage? Achha. So what is living wage? Living wage is that the wage earned by a person is appropriate for living. For example, a person requires a minimum expenditure of 350 rupees per day to live, okay, or to survive. So what is this living wage? Living wage is 350. Okay. So governments or technical assistance from international labor organizations to create a framework for living wages. So government took help of international labor organizations. So what is the differential between living wage and minimum wage? See, minimum wage is that you have to get that minimum wage, only then one can work. For example, say minimum wage might be lower than living wage. Okay, minimum wage might be lower than living wage, but living wage is the wage that one requires for living. एक को चाहिए अपने अपना जीवन चलाने के लिए, एक को चाहिए जितना रुपीस, वही है लिविंग वेज. मिनिमम वेज इज not living wage. Minimum wage might be lower than living wage. Okay. So see, the wage level necessary to afford a decent standard of living for workers and their families, the lowest legal hourly wage that employer must pay their workers. So minimum wage is backed by law. Okay. Whereas living wage what, a decent standard to live a decent standard of life, you need a living wage. So issue as the present system in present day India follows the minimum wage, which has remained stagnant since 2017. The Minimum Wage Act 1940 provides guidelines but does not specify the minimum wages. So what the minimum wage that has been set by the government has been fixed in 2017 remained unchanged. Still the inflation has risen to maximum. Next, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India identified Life Insurance Corporation of India and General Insurance Corporation of India and New India Insurance as DSIL. Okay, now before sorry, now before going into this, I want to ask everyone that what do you mean by insurance penetration and what is mean by insurance density? Yes. So see, if you don't know, so please remember insurance penetration. In insurance penetration, when you say about the word insurance penetration, that means we compare the insurance with the GDP growth. Whether the insurance premium has grown as compared to growth in GDP or not. So this is all about insurance penetration. Okay, the growth in insurance premium as compared to growth in GDP. Whereas insurance density measures the per capita insurance premium, means what is the premium that is paid by every individual or every population. Okay, so that is insurance density, and insurance penetration is just overall. You can say insurance penetration overall. Okay, insurance penetration just looks that what is the insurance premium that has been receiving by the insurance company as compared to growth in GDP, whereas insurance density is what is the premium that is paid by the individual population. Okay, so next, domestic system. So recently the LIC of India and General Insurance Corporation and New India Insurance has received DSIL. So what is DSIL? Domestic systematically important insurers. DSIL refers to insurers of such size, market and importance and domestic and global interconnectedness whose distress or failure would cause a significant dislocation in the domestic financial system. So DSIL का मतलब है, डीसील जब एक गवर्नमेंट देता है किसी कंपनी को, तो उसका मतलब क्या है? दोज कंपनी होल्ड्स ए इंपॉर्टेंट पोजीशन इन द इकोनॉमी. Those company holds an important position in the economy, and if any failure in such company might give a great roadblocks or great failure to the economic system. So DCLs are probably too big, too important to fail, and DCLs are subject to additional regulatory measures. So इनके लिए ये जाते मीन्स इन कंपनी को नुकसान ना हो, इसके लिए कुछ रेगुलेशन भी बनाया जाता है ताकि वो आइन के द्वारा या फिर लॉ के द्वारा चलाया जाए, और ये ज़्यादा बड़े हैं इसलिए इनका फेल होने का चांसेस भी बहुत हाई है. तो इनको अच्छी तरह से रखना है क्योंकि इनके ऊपर हमारा इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम डिपेंडेंट है. So Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI, I hope everyone knows. It is formed on the recommendations of Malhotra Committee. It is a statutory body set up under IRDAI Act. I can recall that in the polity section I told you what is statutory body. Statutory body is any body that has been set up under the Act. Okay. So IRDAI is looked after by the Ministry of Finance. So see insurance growth, insurance penetration. So see the word insurance penetration. The percentage of insurance premium to GDP at 4.2% in 2020 as compared to 2.71% in 2012. So insurance penetration has increased a significant position, and insurance density, ratio of insurance premium to population. So $91 in 2021 as compared to $11.5. So here is a massive growth in insurance density. Okay, insurance for all by 2047. IRDAI has committed to ensure every citizen has an appropriate life, health, and property insurance cover, etc. by 2047. So this is the aim of IRDAI to cover each and every population by 2047. Business innovation and entrepreneurship. So we are moving to point 8. Topic number 8. So the first is business innovation and entrepreneurship. So first topic is Be Ready Index. So what is Be Ready Index? World Bank launches the first edition of Business Ready Index. So who has released this? The Business Ready Index is World Bank. Okay, by the World Bank. So it replaces World Bank's ease of doing business. The assessment currently includes 50 economies excluding India. So please remember Be Ready Index. In the Be Ready Index, India is not covered. Okay. So what is Be Ready Index? It is a new data collection and analytics project of the World Bank Group to assess the business and investment climate worldwide, accompanied by an annual corporate report. It focuses on three main areas: reform advocacy, policy guidelines, and analysis and research. So it ultimately looks about the finance condition and the business condition in the worldwide. Okay, but recent India has not got into it, so India is excluded from Be Ready Index. So pillars of Be Ready: Pillar 1, regulatory framework; Pillar 2, public service and operation efficiency. On these three pillars, the survey has been conducted. Okay. Next is India's startup ecosystem. So India's startup ecosystem comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, launched Bharat Startup Knowledge Access Registry, Bhaskar initiatives for India's startup ecosystem. So Bhaskar initiative has been launched by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Please remember Bhaskar initiatives for the startup launched by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Bhaskar initiative is a platform designed to centralize, streamline, and enhance collaborations among the key stakeholders within entrepreneurial ecosystem, including startups and investors. Its primary goal is to build world's largest digital registry for stakeholders within startup ecosystem. So Bhaskar is just nothing but a registry that is maintained on digital form. Okay. So in this registry, all the startups that has been running in India are registered. Okay, it is under Startup India program. So it is under Startup India, which aims to build strong ecosystems for nurturing innovations and encouraging investments. So key features of Bhaskar is personalized identification, discoverability, global branding, networking, and resource access. India's startup ecosystem. India is the third largest startup ecosystem after USA and China. So who was the first one? The first one is USA, and the second is China, and third is India, the third largest, with 67 unicorn startup as per Global Unicorn Index. Okay, so now a unicorn. What is unicorn? A unicorn startup is privately held company without any listing on public exchange, valued at $1 billion or more, supported with venture capital. So what is unicorn? A unicorn is just a startup company with a maximum capital of maximum or minimum capital of around $1 billion, but is not registered yet on the stock exchange. Okay, so that is why it runs under venture capital. So gazelles. What is gazelles? Startup most likely to go unicorn within 3 years. So see, these are some categorization of startups. These are most categorization of startups. One is gazelles and cheetah. So please remember, what is gazelles? It refers to those startups which are going to be unicorn within 3 years. And cheetah is they are also going to be unicorn within 5 years. Okay. So please remember gazelle and cheetah are used in terms of startups to recognize that when they are going to be unicorn. Okay, next, Department for Promotions of Industry and Internal Trade. This also runs under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, key source for startups. So one of the key sources of startups, one is venture capital or private equity or angel funds. Okay, so these all funds are funds which are not listed on stock exchange. Okay, so venture capital funds, angel funds, and social venture fund, investor fund, etc. Category 1. Category 2 is fund which does not fall in category of 1 and 3. Category 3 enjoy diverse and complex. So please have a look on those. Not so much. Initiatives taken for startups. So what are the initiatives that are taken by the government for the startups or any other organizations, like Mark Portal? What is Mark Portal? Mentorship, advisory, assistance, and resilience and growth. So these are initiatives taken by the startups, so such that the startups might not fall, okay, in their performance. or any kind of help or assistance they require, so that the government can make policies to support them. So funds for startup. This is another thing. Startup India, startup grants, and Nidhi program. I hope I have given a clear idea about the Nidhi. I hope Nidhi company registered under cooperative societies. Okay. Next, Samriddhi flagship program for Methi Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. It is a loan scheme. Okay. So what is angel tax? Angel tax. So the government has announced to abolish angel tax for all classes of investors to boost the entrepreneurial spirit and support innovation. So what is angel tax? Refers to the income tax that the government imposes on funding raised by the unlisted companies or startups if the valuation exceeds the company its fair market value. So see, many a times the company without listing on the stock exchange raises money from the public. Okay, so on those money, what are being the money that has been raised by the company, So the government imposes a tax, and that tax named as angel tax on those money which are raised without issuing any shares. Okay, without issuing any shares. Okay, in the stock exchange. So objectives to curb money laundering and tax evasion. So what are the main objectives? To curb money laundering and tax evasion. Next is Payment Amendment Rules 2024. Payment Amendment Rules 2024, amending the Patent Rules 2023. Under payments I said, sorry. This is Patent Amendment Rules 2024. Patent Amendment Rules amending the Patent 2003 have been notified by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So please remember, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade. So the Patent Amendment 2024 replaced the Patent Act of 1970 or Patent Rules 2003. So patent protection means the invention cannot be commercially made, used, or distributed, imported, or sold by others without the patent owner's consent. I hope everyone knows about the intellectual property rights, IPR, patentable criteria, not excluded. Okay, please have a look on those. So, global World Intellectual Property Organizations WIPO regulates the patent and other IPR administers related conventions and treaties include Paris Convention, Patent Corporations Treaty, and Budapest Treaty. So, what is patent evergreening? Patent evergreening means, see, when a patent over a product is provided for an infinity period, so that time the person who has invented the object receives patent greening. What is patent greening? So he has the scope of making more profit, because no other has the authority of discovering or making this thing. Okay, so see, in it, company makes slight changes to formulation to extend the patent period, granting their monopoly over the drug. So in this case, monopoly increases. Trade secrets and economic espionage. Law Commission published the 2023 report Trade Secrets and Economic Espionage. Trade secret encompasses confidential business information which may be sold or licensed. Economic espionage acts of deliberate acquisition of confidential information from domestic companies and government to benefit foreign state. It can be economic, industrial, or commercial. So see, trade secrets many times the confidential business information which may be sold or for such kind of bias or for such biases may be created. Economic activities means dealing in unregulated work or unauthorized work or unlawful work. Okay, to benefit oneself. So existing legal framework on trade secrets and economic espionage, there is no singular law. Indian Contracts 1873 and specific releases. So there is no such law for such specific purposes. Next is Global Innovation Index 2024 and Social Entrepreneurship. So recently the Global Innovation Index was released by the World Intellectual Property Organizations and Cornell University and INSEAD Business School. So please remember, Global Innovation Index is released by World Intellectual Property Organizations in collaboration with Cornell University and INSEAD Business School. So top ranking, Switzerland followed by Sweden and the US and the Singapore. So top is Switzerland. India ranked 39 among 133 nations, improving rank by one position. So in the 2023 the rank was 40th and now it is 39. India holds the top rank in both lower middle income economies as well as Central and Southern Asia region. So the top 100 S&T cluster was Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. Please remember Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. So World Intellectual Property Organization's objective, it is an UN agency. India is included in it. So administrative treaty is Barne Conventions, Washington Convention, Paris Conventions and Singapore Treaty. Related news, International Intellectual Property Index US Chamber of Commerce lists all the editions of its international IP index. Top countries: USA, UK, France. India's position remains unchanged at 42 out of 55 economies. International Intellectual Property Index released by US Chamber of Commerce. Please remember, released by US Chamber of Commerce. India's position remains unchanged at 42 out of 55 economies. Okay, next. Treaty on Intellectual Property and Genetic Resources and Associated Traditional Knowledge. I hope everyone knows about a clear idea about the intellectual property. Now, genetic resources, something around life, and associated traditional knowledge. So, World Intellectual Property Organization adopted a treaty on intellectual property, genetic resources, and associated traditional knowledge. This is the first WIPO treaty to address the interface between intellectual property, genetic resource, and traditional resources. This is the first ever treaty adopted by consensus among more than 150 countries, including India. It will come into force 3 months after ratified by 15 parties. Any member of WPO states means World Intellectual Property Organization may join. Enhance efficacy and transparency and quality of the patent system, prevents patent from being guaranteed anonymously for not novel invention. So see, this is on and around a clear idea about that is the traditional knowledge prevailing in India or any other country and giving patent to them, so that such secrecy or such traditional ethos can remain intact without disturbing them. So next is a measure of government to protect India's TK and GRs. What is TK? What is TK? TK is traditional knowledge and GR is genetic resource. Okay, so one is traditional knowledge of digital library, that is India's tech. India's Patent Act 1970, protection of plant varieties and farmers' right, biological diversity, Forest Right Act, and geographical indication GI, and UNESCO recognition, yoga, etc. So this is something. So this is on and around 9 topic, that is PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. PM Gati Shakti Master Plan and asset monetizations will be covering in the next day class. So today we covered on around 7 and 8. Please mark the important one, whichever I underlined here. Okay, and please share if you have not shared my video, and please comment if any doubt, and like and subscribe if you not. Thank you. Have a good day and bye bye.